My people, what up, though? We back with another episode of All Black Men Need Therapy. My name is Chief.
And I'm Bell.
My name is Prentice.
And we about to get the show rocking. What's happening, fellas? Everybody good and all that? P. It's been a while. It's almost crunch time, damn it. It's just over a month, right?
Yeah, man.
Just over a month before the wedding. Talk to me. What's on your spirit, B? How you check?
We got this bachelorette extravaganza in Arizona in a couple of days, man. So it's a good break from just the last minute details, the preparation, the adjustments, the everything. I think that comes with it. So I'm just so nose down right now, like on the grind. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm pinned down. I know there's blessings coming, so that's not a worry. But right now, I'm just on grind mode. But like I really am.
So does this weekend you let your guard down? As soon as you get back, is balls to the wall per se?
That's how I'm trying to look at it. I can't even get to the fact that we leaving because I'm such grind mode. Like it's gonna take us being at the airport for me to kind of mentally switch off, you know what I mean? And I'll be able to, definitely. But yeah, I definitely think self-care wise is good for both of us actually to really put everything on hold and just have fucking fun with our family and friends and then just get right back to it for the next, couple of weeks.
So, she doing the bachelorette?
Yeah. So we gotta, like Friday, we're gonna do some shit at night together, strip club, hit all that shit.
Oh, she gonna be in Arizona?
Yeah. This is this is a whole co-ed, whole wedding party extravaganza, man. That's
dope. Okay, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so a lot of cats be like, "Why you doing it with your girl?" And I'm like, "You don't fucking know us." You know what I'm saying? Like we
do you know me?
Right? Like that's my motherfucker, man. So if I'm gonna do some shit, I'm doing it with her for sure.
It's like, how you gonna tell me how to enjoy myself?
Right.
It's the instant thought people have of there's certain things you can't do with your significant other. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. And I think, people relationships are different. So, but yeah, I'm good. But other than that, I'm good. Chin down, man. I know the wedding's coming. I'm happy about that, but we got to get there. So I'm just trying to make that happen.
How the kids?
Shy is talking and developing every day, but she got a couple ponytails in her head today. Shout out to Sarai for pulling that shit off. Anaya is doing good. She's playing the trumpet now, so she likes that.
That's what's up.
Here, he had a moment about his locks, but we've been working on it for the last 2.5 years, man. So he's gonna keep it growing. So he's doing well, man. And Justice is doing football and about to be 14 next month, man. So they're good. They're in different phases, different stages, but everybody is good. I think everybody realizes that the wedding is coming, so everybody on chill mode. They being good. You know what I mean? Like
that's what's up.
Yeah, it's cool. Thank you for asking, Will.
No doubt, for sure. Go ahead. Talk to us, man. Check in. What's goody?
What's good? Had a great conversation today with my executive coach. And he helped me with some perspective on how to view things. You know what I'm saying? And Chief, I brought you up today, actually, not you by name, but you in the situation that you went through. And I told you, I'm like, what does it cost you to just treat this person accordingly?
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of how I am with one of my relationships. It's just like, you just understand, like, the relationship is what it's going to be, right? It may not ever be what you thought it could be or what you wanted it to be, but it's what you need it to be. You know what I'm saying? Like it's for you to get to where you need to go, it's what you need it to be.
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, there may be some more desire, right? But in terms of necessity, yeah, you got everything you need. So he was just helping me with that, which it was good. And that was today. Nigga. A lot's happened to me now that I think about it, man.
Some shit clicked, huh?
Let's get into it.
So, last week I was Chase. He He got this little kid. It's like his best friend in his school, in his class. Cutest kid ever. Always got a nasty nose though. Always, always, always. Look like Roscoe from Martin. Nose always nasty, right? So anyway, Chase, of course, ended up with a nasty nose, and I had like a cough for a while. Then my chest started hurting, which made me a little concerned. So I'm like, I rode the Peloton one day, just trying to sweat it out. I'm like, man, this shit is and my numbers on the Peloton was weak. So I'm like, yo, this on my ass more than I thought. Anyway, a couple of days passed. I'm starting to feel a little better. I was like, you know, let me just sweat this last little bit out. So I go outside, I start shooting around with my hoop in the backyard, just shooting around. Like I'm just gonna get a little sweat in, nothing crazy. And man, when I tell you I was on fire tonight, man, I wasn't missing, man. I wasn't. I should have known. I should have known that something was coming. I should have known something was coming. Like, you don't shoot this well, nigga. Like, stop it. Anyway, my little neighbor came over, little 10-year-old. We started playing knockout. You know what I'm saying? His dad ended up popping over. 3 of us playing knockout, having a good time. I shoot, go grab my rebound. And when I push off on my foot, I just drop.
Buckle.
I just dropped, man. I'm like, oh, I grabbed my Achilles. I'm like, what is going on? And it was just like the equivalent to when you get hit with when you hit your funny bone. Like that's what it felt like. And it just and if anybody's ever played football, anytime you've tackled to leave your feet or got knocked off your feet, when you stand up, your legs ain't under you right away. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I felt. Like my shit don't feel connected. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it didn't hurt, but I literally couldn't feel it. Sorry, I think that's not my audio out. Yeah, I couldn't feel it. So I'm like, what is going on? Long story short, I moved my toes. I'm like, oh, all right, I'm good. Nigga, I go to lift my heel up. Shit didn't move. Like, shit did not move, bro. It didn't move. I'm like, yo, I tore my Achilles.
Nigga, did you?
I'm like, I tore my fucking Achilles, man. I called my mom. I'm like, yo, mom, I tore my Achilles. She's like, how you know? I'm like, nah, trust me, I know. I'm like, I can see my Achilles. It's not there. It's gone. Like, I tore it. Yeah, like I tore it. It's gone. Like I see it right here. It's on my right leg. It's not on my left leg. It's gone.
Yeah, it's in my hand.
Yeah. She's like, you can't be diagnosing yourself. Google's a search engine, not a diagnostic center. That I'm like, whatever. I'm gonna go to walk-in. They're gonna tell me the same thing. Long story short, I go to the walk-in, and they like, nah, you ain't tear it. So you pulled it, but it's there. It's not torn. And I'm like, so I call my man. He tore his Achilles twice. I call my man. I'm like, yo, B. I'm like, yo, they told me I ain't tear it. I think I'm good. He was like, yeah, they told me the same shit. 11 months later, I got a second opinion and I had a ruptured Achilles for 11 months. I said, yo, you serious? So I called my doctor, right? I messaged them on like the message board. I'm like, yeah, I need to schedule an MRI. And I need to get the second opinion. I was like, I don't know what these because I went to the walk-in. I'm like, these walk-in doctors, man, they just checking for strep throat. They don't know nothing about no Achilles, man. So
there ain't no real doctors.
Yeah, man. So I'm like, and she's like, well, they gotta send me the notes, this, that, and the third. And then I told my mom, you guys talk to my doctor. I told him to schedule me an MRI. She's like, boy, you called your doctor to say schedule MRI? I was like, yeah. She's like, you know it don't work like that, right? I'm like, what you mean? I went to the first doctor, now I need an MRI. She's like, it's like 8 steps in between that. Sure enough, my doctor called me. She was like, yeah, you don't have a torn Achilles. She's like, you would know. She was like, you would definitely know. You wouldn't be able to keep your foot up. So long story short, I pulled my shit, trying to sweat out a cold. Good thing is I don't got no cold no more.
It's silver lining.
I hit with the loose leg, but I ain't sniffling.
Yeah, so but
left foot out here like
man, when I tell you my shit's so damn swollen, bro, like scary swollen. Like
damn.
like it, yeah.
You ain't apply the rice, cuz?
What's the rice?
Rest, ice, compression, elevation.
Oh, yeah. No, I did that. Yeah, I did that. Yeah, I did that. I've been getting more sophisticated with my icing. So put in an ice tub the other day. And I didn't need that bucket, by the way. My mom had one.
Oh, no doubt. All right.
But yeah, that's pretty much it with me. The wife just got back from Portugal, so it was me and my guy for 5 days, rocking out. That was it.
Yeah. Keith, what's up, man? I know you got some news, bud. What's happening?
Oh yeah, I'll dovetail off yours, so I know what you about to say.
Yeah. So my play was this weekend. I got standing ovation. Everybody loved it. Bunch of positive feedback. I got like everybody I spoke to hit me with like, yo, I needed that. So it felt real good in that from that aspect. But there was a lot of shit that went down behind the scenes that had me really upset. Like one, just being my own, hard critic. I wasn't necessarily upset about it, but I know I rehearsed and left rehearsal feeling much better than I left the performance feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't match up to that one great rehearsal I had. But I had some shit going on with the theater, man. So like, let's just say, I did my play at this theater, I think like 7 times in the past. So this time around, they ain't been taking care of the place. So I go there, and let's just say there's 40 lights, P. 25 of them don't work. So now I'm like, yo, I had this, this type of lighting last time, that type of lighting last time. So it really worked because, I was able to accentuate these things. So I had this big elaborate set, not elaborate, but I wanted the staging to look different. But when I put the bed on the stage, I go to sit on the bed and do my scene, you can't see my face because they don't got lights over there. So now I'm restricted to this like 8x10 oval that's the only place I can move in. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm like, shit, I can't put the stuff I want on stage because you can't see me and it's gonna look awful on film if I'm sitting in the dark. You dig what I'm saying? So I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I don't want nothing. I don't want nothing on stage now. Just me. What saved me was I'm like, yo, comedians when they film their sets, it'd be them, a towel, a mic, and a chair. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, that'll work for me. I got a little bit of lighting, it might, whatever. So I'm waiting for my man to finish editing it and take a good look at it. But that shit pissed me off. But then, not only that, money was like ignoring my text messages and my emails leading up to the show. I'm like, yo, I want to get in for tech and, get the lighting situated, get the sound cues down, blah, blah, blah. He's like, nah, we can't get in until Thursday. I'm like, motherfucker, I emailed you 2 weeks ago. You hit me back on Tuesday talking about we can't get in until Thursday. Then, during the play, then I just felt like this racial tension. Like he just had like this bad energy. So like the text message, it was bad. So I pull up the day on Friday, the show was Saturday. I pull up, yo, we good? He said, what do you mean? I said, I just feel like tension in the text message. He's like, nah, I don't read in the text messages. But I was like, but the way he said that was, I'm like, are we good though? He was like, yeah, we're good. I'm like, all right. So then during the show, of course, I'm waiting. I have like some of my sound cues are very strategic. Like they're like the punchline to the joke. You know what I'm saying? And I hit my cue and I'm waiting. And I'm waiting. And I'm waiting. Then the sound
at the show? During the show?
During the show. Then the sound cue comes.
It's not as bad as he's making it seem. But yeah, he was waiting. But it's not as bad as
again. But see, he would you've seen it before, so but my man, like it didn't land like it was
shouldn't happen.
It shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Especially because we rehearsed. Yep. And you knew it, and you knew it was coming. And I did the line exactly how it was supposed. You know how we improvise sometimes. I did the line exactly how it's supposed to be. So when you hear, and we find out, sound cue. But I hit him with the and we find out, and then it's
crickets.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and again, the sound cues led to like specific, like they were the punchline in some of them. So it's like, get me right. Then one of the sound cues he played way before the cue came, and it's like, come on, bro. Like I didn't even get there yet. Like, the fuck is you doing? But again, the people don't know, and I'm able to adjust on the fly, so they don't see that. But that shit really pissed me off. And then to capitalize it, I left like Akil left my guitarist left a speaker there, and I left my flash drive with the sound cues on it. So I went to go pick him up, and I'm texting him like, yo, I can't get in the theater space because the door is locked. He texts me like, I'm here. I'm like, all right, cool. So then I like hear people coming. I don't know it's him. And then I text him again, like, do you want me to go around the front or wait at this door for you? And he's like, and he comes up the stairs. Oh my God, these damn text messages. As he's coming up there, he sees me like, oh, hey, Chief. And I was like, man, open the door. So he opened the door. I grabbed the joint And I grabbed my flash drive, and he's like, "Yeah, so how was the thing?" And I just looked at him. He's like, "So yeah, did you have a good turnout?" Blah blah blah. I just looked at him like, and just kept,
Right.
I just like it was just mad. So like I put a tent in my backyard before I go back there again, yo.
Yeah, I mean that's
It was a bad vibe, bad energy, fucked up on my sound cues, and then didn't really seem to care about it either. Though real like, you know what I'm saying? And I was trying to be real cordial and real polite. So I'm like, I essentially I need him now because I only got a day left. It shows tomorrow. Let me just play nice. You know
Is it new management? I forgot to ask.
No, same dude, yo. Well, it's under new management. He was the same dude who did the lights and sound before, but I had Butter on his ass last time. So Butter sat by the sound booth and was like, okay, sound cue coming, cue that shit up, get ready to go. You dig what I'm saying? And he wasn't there this time. I had nobody sitting there with him. So but we went over it 2 times, like thoroughly. And he fucked it up. My thing is he fucked it up both times we did it. So I should have expected it to fuck up during the game. But I mean during the play. But it really pissed me off. Like pissed me off. But again, my man could edit all that out and post and would be fine. But long story short, my gut is saying I need to do it again in another theater and get some better lighting for filming purposes. But I'm gonna go wait and see what Don does. And Don was like, "Yeah, it looks good," because he started already. My videographer was like, "Yeah, it looks good. You know, I can edit that out."
Brighten it up and stuff. I would imagine too. Yeah.
You gotta do it again, but I'll say that.
No, Prentice, he don't. Like the show was amazing, bro. Like and I saw it already, and this version was better. You know, like obviously. There's obviously still going to be raw emotion that will be as apparent this time around as it was last time. But in terms of like the adjustments and the things that he did, and he obviously told me about the lighting. So when I walked in, I was expecting like a flashlight up there. Like I was expecting some bullshit, but it wasn't. I don't know what like great lighting looks like on stage. Like I've never performed on stage like you guys, but from the untrained eye, it looked fine. You know, he killed the show, like absolutely killed it. And when I saw the videographers there, I'm like, man, this is perfect, right? I don't know that and you tell me, Chief, I don't know that you had that elaborate video recording last time.
Yeah, well, not really because he's got like it was 10 years ago, so he's gotten better cameras. You know what I'm saying? He got the little joint you can walk around with that keeps it stable. So he got some close-up shots and whatnot, turning around, look at the audience and whatnot. So, but I mean, he did a killer job last time with what he had. And he's like, yeah, it'll be better now because he was telling me like I got better cameras. Like, you know, I'll put up instead of 2 this time. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
I don't think I ever saw the video the first time around.
I made a couple of DVDs, gave them to some people. I didn't really workshop with anybody. I kind of just might have sold them at different events or something like that. I don't even know what the fuck I did with them, honestly speaking.
Man.
But now, you know, I'm gonna get this together in a workshop with some people.
No, man, he Prentice just saying he killed it, man. Like he absolutely killed it. It was, and I saw it already, and I still had the chills. Well, if you don't have the chills watching him perform, there's something wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't a dry eye in that place. Like it was crazy. And then afterwards we went out to the local bar, which is actually a really nice spot.
It's a good time too.
Yeah, a lot of love over there too. So it was good, man. It was real good.
That's good.
Peep this shit though. I know we fuck it, this our podcast. We do what we want to do, but peep. So when I did it the first time, I needed a trumpeter to play the military taps for like the funeral part, right? I asked the band director at school. He put me on to one of the kids in the band, this girl Donnie, who played it. You know what I'm saying? Donnie came, did her thing. Donnie graduated. She couldn't do it this time. So I went back to the band director. I'm like, yo, you got somebody? He's like, yeah, I got this girl, Serena. She's awesome. I'm a junior, blah, 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 blah. Little black girl. I'm like, all right, cool. So I meet Serena. We get to talking, yada, yada, yada. Find out her name is Serena Julian. Like that's her.
Ain't by design, man. It's all by design.
And I'm like, yo, that's crazy. For those of you who don't know, my little brother's name was Julian. And I'm like, yo, that's bugged out. I'm like, so it's you know, it's destined. It's bound to happen. Like you're supposed to be here. You know what I'm saying? So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, when I said you got to do it again, I'm not saying for the point of like I get you're gonna blow it up, and I understand from Bell's perspective that it was good. I think it's the part of me that knows what it's like to have things that you can critique and edit and know regardless of how fucking good it was, it don't matter because this shit happened and you want to fix this shit.
Right.
So you want to do it again. You know what I'm saying? that's the only reason why I'm saying you should do it again. Is just if it went well and there were kinks, it's gonna go better when there aren't. And just to you put in so much work for that shit, but you know, like I hope you plan on touring with that shit and doing some more shows. You put work into it, too much work for it to be like a one time deal, and it didn't go necessarily the way you wanted it.
So I'm hoping that my man really works his magic because I mean, you've seen it, P. Like your dude is nice too. So when you film something, you're like, and then he send you the product, and you're like, yo, like that's you know what I'm saying. And he did
that shit right there.
You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't even know you could do that. You know? So I'm hoping that happens and we go through with it. But when he does it, I'll take a look at it. And, you know what I mean? Maybe Bell, maybe we could sit down. You know what I'm saying? We can look at it together. Just kind of pinpoint some stuff. Like, yo, that works. That don't work. You know what I mean?
Like it's like game film, Chief. It's never as bad as you thought, and it's never as good as you thought. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It is, man.
Right. So nevertheless, that's it, man. So you know, I got some good connects with some streaming services and whatnot. So we'll see how
I mean, you know, hopefully, I mean, we could pilot this thing and get some real money behind it. You know what I'm saying? And get on a professional stage, record that. You know what I'm saying? And then put that on the streaming platforms.
Sure.
Like that'd be.
Yep.
That's the plan for sure. So I'm
For all inquiries, hit up Bell at All Black Men Need Therapy at gmail.com. I'll take care of the rest.
That's a fool, yo. Anywho, yo, so let's tap into today's topic. Over the course of the weekend, I was chopping it up with one of the homies, and he was talking. He was in how he was expressing it. It sounded like he was going through it. Sounded like his lady was giving him hell. And he mentioned something along the lines of psychological, I can't remember how he worded it. I don't want to say abuse. It was like psychological aggression and physical aggression, and how more oftentimes than not, men are vilified for the physical aggression part, obviously, rightfully so. But women aren't, or even women and men, they aren't held accountable for the psychological aggression that they apply, or the psychological abuse they apply towards their partners. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
I think we've all go ahead.
So just so I'm clear, just so our listeners are clear, basically we're talking about I guess like stereotypical aggression, right? Stereotypical aggression is men are physically aggressive, right?
Stereotypically, yes.
Stereotypically, right? If there's abuse in a relationship, one may feel that man was being physically abusive to that woman. When and the reverse is true, where it's like oh, she's abusive, like stereotypically someone may think that, oh, she's verbally abusive, right, not physically abusive, right, because they assign gender roles to physical and psychological stereotypically, right? That's all. I just want to make sure we were clear.
No, definitely using the word stereotypical for sure, but I mean it obviously goes both ways in all the regards. But he mentioned something
another
like
word is like the stigmas that are attached to these genders. That's
mentioned something along the lines of like, and she's trying to like destroy his name now or something like that. And I'm just like, damn, that's a lot. You know what I mean?
But that's that psychological warfare though.
For sure. And but some people are brilliant at that and use that to their advantage because they know their partner is susceptible to that. It was like that's their weak spot. They can't handle that. And that's how they're like just evil people trying to hurt these people, and they know the best way to get them.
Yeah.
You look heavy in thought, cuz like heavy.
Yeah, and I was just reminiscing on how I got caught into that shit in a relationship because I didn't realize some of the same like treatment in that relationship I got growing up from my mom. So some of the behavior I realized later was like it was normalized through my upbringing with my mother. So when the woman I was with started doing it, I didn't look at it as psychological warfare because it just reminded me of my mom. And when I think of my mom, I don't think of unhealthy behavioral practices. So that's why I was breathing just now, because I was like, damn, I think in my head just now, I was just now realizing that, like,
And
it is a trip how that shit can have an impact on you, especially if you were brought up in something similar that you face in a relationship later on when you're older. And then I got to deal with the childhood shit. Once you identify in the relationship that it was unhealthy and you connect the dots.
Oh, there was
yeah, and then the question will be, how long does it take you to realize it's unhealthy? Right? Like that's a learned behavior, right? Like you accepting that, you enduring it, maybe accepting is not the right word, you enduring that is normal. That's what all you know, right? So you may associate women with that type of behavior. So when you get that type of behavior towards you, shit, how in some cases it may even draw you closer to that woman.
Absolutely.
Oh.
You know, if you've normalized it and it gives you a sense of normalcy, man, you can absolutely find some type of comfort in that.
Yo,
So
it's crazy. Go ahead, Chief.
no, go ahead, Bill. Go ahead. I'm gonna say
All I was gonna say is it's crazy, man, how our moms play like such a major role in our outlook on life and view of women. For the longest time, bro, I couldn't realize why I was attracted to single moms who were CNAs. Like specifically CNAs. Like if you was a nurse, yeah, cool, but I want a CNA. You know what I'm saying? Like certified
And
nurse.
what, no daddy in the picture too?
No, but the thing is, my mom wasn't a single mom. But here's what I realized: my mom was a CNA for like 30 years. You know what I'm saying? That's one. Two, I was a single dad. You know what I'm saying? So the two women that had the greatest impact on my life at that time was my mom, obviously, and then my daughter's mother. So since she was absent, I was attracted to women who did it all by themselves, and the fact that they were a CNA. But that was all based on my experiences with women up until that point. Women that had a impact on my life. You know what I mean? Like I just that's where I stayed. I played in that space for a while, you know, not realizing that you only want this because of what you don't have or what you didn't have. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, sorry.
you made a good point when you were referencing your childhood. I saw something today, and maybe you didn't see it, but maybe can we help you flush out the conversation. But it was something along the lines of someone was doing the work, trying to be better, and the therapist had them doing an assignment to determine whether or not the issues were theirs or brought on to them by their parents, like really separating the two. You were talking about your childhood, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of this stuff don't be stuff that we developed growing up. It's stuff that was imparted on us from our parents that we're still holding on to and now in our adult lives, we're like, yeah, that shit wasn't cool.
Doesn't it all stem back to that though? I'm not saying that from a professional. Obviously, another disclaimer. We're not therapists. I'm not saying that from a professional standpoint. It's just my opinion. Like, doesn't it all come from childhood? You know, like obviously,
I'd like to think that some of our experiences are learned as we get older. You know, but
then it would beg the question: is would you have reacted that way if you weren't raised that way? You know, like, you know, it's you know, whole nature versus nurture thing. So, I feel like it all goes back to childhood to some degree.
Can you think, Chief? I'm trying to think of, I'm trying to like process that, because when I had the way it was worded was like, yo, that's a good project or good assignment to do. And I'm trying to think if I can recollect right now in my adult life, is there something I can identify that was like me, whatever I'm struggling with, was that me or was that mama? Was that daddy? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if is there anything like in your mind right now where you're like, oh, you know what? I struggle with this because my dad used to, you know what I'm saying? Or I can't remember. So you have an example, P?
Yeah, mine's easy. The most prominent one is I struggle with acknowledging my accomplishments, my blessings, and enjoying a moment because growing up, anytime I had an accomplishment, my mom was like, "Cool, but what is it doing for you? Cool, but you make any money off of it? Cool, but what's next?" You know what I mean? So there was always a sense of things not necessarily being
Enough.
yeah, enough. And there always having to be more. So when I accomplish something and get on TV or have an amazing moment and I'm being acknowledged, it's like, yeah, cool, but I don't have another show next. Or you know what I'm saying? So that followed me into adulthood a lot, not being able to acknowledge accomplishments and things that I should give myself credit for.
Do
I
you
think this
deem
is a good example, Chief. But go ahead.
do you deem that as a bad thing though? Because I would.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I
so-
could see the effect of it.
I'm not saying that, not acknowledging those accomplishments. Obviously, that could be detrimental. But if you look at it, I'm trying to, play devil's advocate, I guess. If you look at it from a different perspective, it's like, I'm kind of constantly fueling him to want and be and do more.
So this is what happened. Then it turned into, because I didn't know how to receive and I don't have these big outward responses or opinions on the success, I become very humble to people. So because I don't know how to absorb and acknowledge it and celebrate it, I become humble in other people's eyes. So I adopt that perception. Oh yeah, well maybe I'm just hella humble. So then more shit starts happening and you accomplish other things and you stay the same. You don't learn how to celebrate it and you just label yourself as humble. And then you go through fucking life being overly fucking quote unquote humble or not even really humble at all. You just don't know how to celebrate the shit. So people call that humility and you just go with that and don't change.
Yo, have there been times where you have been at a performance and somebody like reads off your bio and you sit back like, damn, I did a lot of shit. Like,
Man, I don't be liking to hear my bio because it makes me I don't know. I may feel different now because we done did some shit and grown up, but
what I'm
yeah,
saying, have you had that moment where it's like they're going off and you're just like, yo, like, when you almost like
they didn't work. Yeah.
you take time to pat yourself on the back for all that you've done, but when you hear it, sometimes it's like, I've been really out here working. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nah, that's what's up.
Let me ask you a question, Prentice. What your mom saying basically, okay, now what? Or like, and then what, right? Every follow-up she had to all your accomplishments.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I said, Chief, this is a good example, because my question would be, and you may not be able to answer this, and it's fine, but my question would be, was the act not enough or were you not enough? How did you
In her eyes?
So this is where it gets tricky. So how did she mean it and how did you receive it?
I think she meant it like, congratulations, but in order to encourage me, I don't think she meant it to put me down. I don't.
No, I understand how.
You know what I'm saying?
The
like
path to
even
hell,
though the butt was like, but
hold
I
on
think
real quick. The path to hell is paved with good intentions. You see what I'm saying?
okay.
So her
Well, let's keep going.
intentions, yeah, intentions may not have been that, but that's why I'm asking you, like the whole thing what Chief said.
Right. The impact can be different than the intent.
Was this something that somebody did to me, or is this something that I created? Because what she could have been, her intentions could have been pure. Hey, I just want more for you. I want you to always strive for the best. How you could have potentially internalized that was that you just weren't enough, which is why. And again, I'm not saying that you did this, but which is why you could be like downplaying everything because you don't feel worthy of all those accomplishments that people read off that you completed, that you did.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm not enough like that. No, that's like, stop reading that. That's making me uncomfortable because I don't deserve that.
Yeah, there's always been a lot of that.
So that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like it happened in childhood, but then how did we internalize it and or how does it show up? Right? Like that's the thing. And again, I mean, I'm sure your therapist could help you once you start going. You see what I'm saying?
Nigga, yeah, y'all niggas is right. I need that shit.
Well, I mean, all of us, bro, all of us, not just you, all of us. We all got something like that, right? Like, Chief, I'm sure there's a lot of things that we've talked about this that you do based on an absentee father. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of shit that I do and I can tell you unequivocally, because of all my influences when I was younger were criminals. You know what I'm saying? Like I said on a podcast a long time ago, I would say, I realize that it's not all, but I would say like 85 to 90% of the men on my dad's side above 30 have felonies. You know what I'm saying? So that's an influence, right? So that they weren't trying to, like, they weren't about, you need to come join this crime syndicate. That wasn't it, right? They were trying to provide for their families. And what I saw is behaviors, right? So I adapt those behaviors, even though I don't need to. I had a conversation with my man Mac. Shout out to my man Mac.
Shout out to Mac too. Mac pulled up from Chicago to see the play this weekend, bro.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man.
And the crazy thing is, we were just in Chicago. He came to Connecticut a week and a half later, and he's gonna be back in Connecticut this weekend. But and he still came. But what he was telling me, man, he was like, "Yo, you move like two things we talked about. One, how I move. Like I move kind of like, if I'm in a room, I'm just looking around. I'm not trying to be that guy, right? I'm not mixing it up. I'm not, yo, what's good? How you doing? If I'm in an unfamiliar setting, whereas Mac is really good at networking, getting into places that, you know, high society are at, right? Because he's talking, he's being comfortable in every environment. The other thing that he said is, he's like, yo, you operate like somebody's always trying to play you. You know what I mean? And it's like, I'm never looking for a fight, but I'm always ready when one arises. Right? Like I don't go looking for trouble. I don't look for a fight. And I'm not talking about physical fights. I'm just saying, even in my management style, right? Even in my management style. So it's like those behaviors shouldn't be consistent with where I am in my life right now. Right? Like I run a multi-million-dollar operation, and I still have criminal undertones, right, in my behavior. You know what I'm saying? Like it's weird. But
That's a great.
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
great. That's a good one.
You see that,
That's a great
that
point.
meme like, hey, big dog, follow me on Facebook. Like, hey, man.
Damn near gang member.
Outside of work, I'm damn near a gang member.
That's how I be feeling, man. It's like, yo, and it's just crazy, man. Like, but that's why, you know what, Prentice? My commitment to you, man, my commitment to you is I'm going to find me a therapist. I haven't been back to my therapist since I moved to Massachusetts, which is a year and 8 months. So that's my commitment, man. I'm gonna find me a therapist, just because I need to, because I gotta work through some of this shit.
Word up, man.
We totally ventured off the topic, didn't we?
Hella, but it has.
I mean, I feel like it's all related, though. I feel like it's all related.
It is.
But I think either way, I think is always something that somebody can pull from what we're talking about, which is like not to run back to my play, but like all the people I've talked to, several people have pulled different things that I didn't even realize that were, I don't know, maybe not realize it, but like just people pull so many different things as it pertains to their life. You know what I'm saying? It's like, wow, I didn't even consider that. But that is a great point. I didn't look at it that way. So I think, you know, whatever we're talking about, somebody's gonna pull something and hopefully apply it and use it to better themselves. So
yeah, yo, like Chief, I would be curious, man, because I saw the comments, like to your point, everybody's like, I needed that. I'm just curious, man, like what did they need? You know, did they need a good cry? Right? Did they need to and I'm sure obviously it's a multitude of things, but did they need to see somebody as they viewed very, very strong, be vulnerable, that allow them to be vulnerable?
Yep,
you know what I'm saying? I'm just curious, man, because don't get me wrong, bro. We all need a good cry. I was fighting that shit like from the gate, man. And I know the lady in front of me, she was getting annoyed, man, because my nerves was going. And I had a cup of I was drinking. Like I started, as soon as I walked in, I was like, I'm getting a drink. Like I'm not about to do this alone. You know
Dry, right.
Yeah, so and I kept shaking my cup of ice because like my nerves, I just couldn't stop shaking my cup. And she had looked back. I'm like, listen, lady, I don't know what you think about to happen, but I'm not about to stop shaking this cup. You know what I'm saying? Like I respect you and all that, but you move if this is bothering you. But But I'm just curious, man. I'm curious. You know, we tend to, men specifically, and women too, but men just naturally are less vulnerable. We tend to keep the cape on. And I'm just curious to know if your performance, man, gave people a sigh of relief and helped them understand that they too can take the cape off, you know?
And that was that for me, that was one of my biggest things, was just to help people stand in the midst of vulnerability and be like, yo, this is how I'm feeling, this is what it is, and I'm going to say it like that. And I've gotten that, I needed that because, there's been so much I've wanted to talk about, but I haven't. But to see you up there, spilling the beans and pouring it out makes me want to do it. Another lady was like, yo, and she was talking about my relationship with my dad. And she's like, it makes me think about my son. I'm a single mom and he doesn't have his dad around, and how I know how important it is for, and I'm just like, okay, I can see that too. Another one said that she wants to build a better relationship with her mother because of just how I did it for my mom, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, oh, I didn't, of course, I'm talking about my mom. I didn't think, but that was her thing. She's like, I want to, I'm going to call my mom and try to, build. I'm like, that's pretty dope. That what people will pull from it. So the back
And you never know.
Right.
Yeah, you never know, man. That's why it's important to tell. I know as tough as it is, obviously, it's important to get it out, right? Whatever it is, like whatever's sitting with you, because as much as you need to get it out just for your own clarity, somebody may be listening, man, and you could have saved somebody's life. You know what I
So,
mean? And,
man, and I honestly, one dude kind of like, he didn't say the words verbatim, but he like leaned on my, cried on my shoulder, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like, had I not come here tonight, like, shit would have went left. You dig what I'm saying? So it's like,
that's crazy.
That shit's powerful.
Super. You never know, man.
And I just forgot.
Prentice, you never saw the show, huh?
No.
No. I think so. Yeah.
What else? It was something else I had to tell y'all. I can't remember. Anyways, what else y'all got, man? We can wrap this up. But
did we ever really talk about the topic?
The physical and the psychological abuse.
You know what happened? I identified the source for me, went to mom's, and then boom, it was over.
Yeah. But that was still, but I mean, again, somebody will pull something from this episode.
That was just our excuse to get on the phone. Like, hey, we got a topic. Let's talk, y'all. Yeah.
Shit went left real fast.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about that. We got other shit we need to discuss clearly.
Nah, word. So Bell, real quick before we close out, vulnerable moment. When you, if it's not too personal, when you connect with your therapist, what's the first thing you putting on the table?
I don't know, yo. Because that's the thing, man. It's like I speak for myself. I've been finding myself having this conversation a lot lately. I think the first time I went, it was around, the conversation I've been having a lot lately is like, us as Black people, man, we've historically have been just done wrong, right? Historically have been done wrong. We're used to making a lot out of a little, right? We're not used to having things in abundance, right? Not things that like matter, you know what I'm saying? Like outside of love, like I feel like us as Black people, we have an unwavering amount of love, right? But I feel like us as Black people, man, we just not used to having stuff, right? In general. So when I went the first time, it was about me like being in a good position to have things, and then how people felt entitled to it. You know what I'm saying? Like that was a space I was coming from. Like I was moving into a different part of my life. That was pre-move here, right? But I felt like something was happening, and then I ended up getting promoted and relocated and all that stuff. I think now, man, I'm gonna be talking about how to manage, right? Like how to manage this space that I'm in, how to manage, like how to release some childhood shit, how to release and let it go and be okay with letting it go. Because I got, like, again, to bring my man Mac up again, like I flat out was vulnerable with him when I sat down. I was like, man, I want to talk to you, man, because I need to start adapting some of the things that you do, because my boss had came out. He's like, Bell, he's like, look, man, he's like, you gotta. He's like you run the second largest market in the country. He's like, or in the East. He's like, I need you to like own this place. And he's like, what I mean by that is like own this city. He's like when we go into restaurants, when I'm in town, I want to walk into a restaurant with you and everybody knows you, right? He's like you got to own that. You got to own this city, man. Like you got to be bigger than life. It's kind of what he was saying without saying it. And my response to him was, I'm like, Dave, I'm like, man, it ain't lost upon me that I move like a criminal. Literally, that's what I said to him. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, why? Like, why? Like, why can't I just be like the example I gave my man Mac was about a scenario when we were all, Chief included, we were all in Miami. And he approached this dude. And when he did it, my first reaction was like, we're gonna have to fuck this dude up. You know what I'm saying? Because
that was like mine too.
Like how he came at him, but he was respectful, very respectful, but just like little shit. I'm like, see, that wouldn't be me. I couldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? Because again, I'm thinking so adversely. Like I'm on the defense. So I'm thinking, or I should say I'm on the offense. So I'm thinking, man, I say this to him, he with his girl, this was about to happen. It's going down. But Mac made a good point. He's like, yo, man. He's like, I do everything with a genuine heart. And I honestly feel like I should get everything I'm working for. So if I'm
that's powerful.
Yeah, he's like, if I'm coming to this man from a human space, from a genuine space, and I'm just trying to chop it up and build, what's the worst that's gonna happen? Whereas I'm thinking the worst that's gonna happen is, man, we're gonna have to fuck home up. Right? Like that's where my mind went. Whereas but the thing is, he said it to the dude, and basically the dude was with his girl. We was at a hookah spot, and there was no more sections left. Dude was in the section, and Mac just asked, he's like, yo, can we join you on your section? But the part that got me was he told the dude to come here. We had a table, the dude in the section, he motioned to the dude to come here. The dude with his girl, I'm like, man, if that was me, I'm like, I ain't know, you come here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not walking over to you. And that's why I was like, yo, man, home, like, what we about to get into? But the dude was like, yeah, come on. And that was very
I think that's fair, though. I think that's fair of you. I mean, if the approach is initially a little different, I don't think it's far-fetched for you to assume that,
But my point is, Prentice, and I agree. I don't think I was way off, but I think Matt can't even see it my way because
of
his perspective, right? Mm-hmm. That's my point. Like he didn't even think about it like that.
Yeah, but to that point though, there ain't a chance in hell a nigga can wave me down the club and like, come here and I'm getting up.
Yeah.
That's not like my man. Not. I'm gonna look at him like, no. You know what I'm saying? And that's already tension right there.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, I put myself in his situation. I'm like, no.
Who's this nigga, man? Asking you to
in front of my lady?
Yeah, you got your money. And then you want to sit with me? What?
So
in his perspective.
So that's the first thing I'm gonna talk to my therapist about, man. How to release some of this stuff that is learned behaviors. I know it's learned behaviors. You know what I'm saying? And who knows, man? Maybe in another life, I was supposed to be, international criminal. Like I don't know.
I will say this though. I think just via the podcast and leveling up and so on and so forth, perspective is something that we all are willing to take into consideration. We're not too set in our ways where it's like, nah. Like,
I agree.
We're open to perspective now. And it's like, oh, okay, I didn't look at it like that.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. You know what? I'll give that a try. Versus like, nah, like you still like, nah, I'm not getting up. I'm not. So maybe next time somebody calls us in the club, yo, come here, be like, all right, let me go see what this cat wants.
Yeah, maybe, right. Maybe.
You know what I'm saying? But like,
right, maybe, yeah.
Perspective is something we're open up to. And I think that's a huge learning curve for everybody because just growing up, whether we're set in them or not, certain things are just like they are what they are until they ain't. And you have to be taught that though.
I'm 99% positive. I've said this at least several times. I read somewhere in 5 years, you'll be exactly who you are today. The only difference will be the books you read and the people you meet. Right? That's how you gain perspective, though.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like you have to educate yourself, right? And you have to get around different people to see things a different way. And that's why a lot of guys, I speak for men, black men, who do need therapy, is they never left their surroundings, right? Even though their surroundings may have changed. So think about that for a second. They've never left their physical surroundings, even though their surroundings may have changed, right? So they're still stuck in how things used to be, and that's not it no more, right? That, like, you're not in danger no more, bro. You 40 something years old, right?
Mhm.
Like life has kept going. You may still be here, but life has kept going. But I would argue that if our perspective don't change, neither will we.
Agreed. P, let's wrap this thing up, man. Give us your final thought on our roundabout, all the way around the world conversation today.
I think once you discover some things about yourself, once you get to the root of some issues, it doesn't mean they're solved, but you've identified the root. Just accept it. You know what I'm saying? Just learn how to accept whatever the source or root of your problem is, so that you can deal with it. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes the reality is a lot harder than even the application to, like, fixing shit sometimes. You know what I mean? It can be a hard pill to swallow. So just accept it so that you can process and deal with it after.
Go ahead.
I'm like, what was he talking about again?
Yesterday.
Nah, man, I think dialogue is essential, right? Like, we started with the episode talking about psychological, essentially dialogue, speech, right? Psychological abuse. And I think, and when we talked about Chief's performance and how his words move people, I just feel, regardless if we say it or we don't, we feel it, and if we're feeling it, it's going to impact us, period, right? Until we get it out. And to your point, Prentice, to get it out and acknowledge it, right? And then you have a choice to make, right? If you're going to do something about it or you're not, but at least you know it's there, it's present, and you no longer are confused as to why you act in this way or you respond this way. So that's all. Dialogue. Have it early and often.
I wrote down a little note, and I don't know what I meant by it because I didn't finish my thought because I jumped in the conversation, but I want to say we are enough. Like, regardless of you being where you want to be or achievements you want to think, like, outside of that, you as an individual are enough, and don't let anybody take that from you. You know what I'm saying? Because I think because we haven't reached the pinnacle of what we perceive to be our highest desires, we tend to lower our own value because we're not where we want to be. And oftentimes, or we let someone's opinion of us deter us from the belief that we are enough. You dig what I'm saying? So pat yourself on the back when the accomplishments come, embrace that shit, and stand firm in all that you've done. And you can go ahead.
Nope, I cut you off.
No, I don't know what I was gonna say. But kind of you can still embrace those wins and celebrate those victories and still remain humble.
Yeah.
People want to label you otherwise. Fuck them.
As long as you are moving right forward, it's a journey. Right? It's not a destination, it's a journey. So you doing that, man, you're doing the right thing. That's all.
Word.
Keep moving forward.
Word. So we went all around the place, all around the world in this conversation.
Been around the world and now, yeah.
I wonder what's up with her though. Was it Lisa Stanfield?
Lisa Stansfield, yeah.
Stansfield.
Good job, man.
Yeah, I wonder what she's doing now. Where are they now? Anybody know where Lisa Stansfield is? Holler at us.
her and Miss Chalet was popping around the same time. Miss Chalet did that was it Surviving Compton? I think that was because she got
Mhm.
baby by
Yeah.
Dr. Dre and Suge Knight.
Word. She was in the thick of it.
Yeah, you talking about like a fly on the wall. Like she got all the tea, I bet.
For real. Nevertheless, y'all, we are on all social media outlets at All Black Men Need Therapy. We are at Gmail, All Black Men Need Therapy at gmail.com. Email us. We got a couple emails that we haven't responded. It was one from Mr. Hill from August 31st. I just saw it, bro. And apologize, but we'll tap in on that. Maybe we'll do that the next episode. But there's a couple. And the shorty from Kathy from the last one we talked about emailed us back. So we should probably look at that too. I saw that.
Yeah, let's do that.
From the episode.
I saw that
I
just
haven't checked
before,
it yet.
just before I logged on. So make sure we check that out. Nevertheless, y'all.
Oh, we got TikTok too, y'all. Follow us.
Oh,
All Black
TikTok.
Men Need
Yeah.
Therapy. It's on like 3 videos on there, but we're gonna get it right.
TikTok.
Oh, if you guys are social media brand marketers or whatever, you know what I'm saying, holler at us, man. We need to help push our brand in a better direction. And I don't think any of us are savvy enough to get it done like that. So we want to get you on the team. We want to get you on the team. So holler at us. All Black Men Need Therapy at gmail.com. Do us all a favor, y'all. Hug a black man today
Do it.
and tomorrow.
Do that shit.
We out, y'all.
Peace.